Welcome back to the True Assassins podcast. We love digging into the dark world of monsters and legendary hunters, and the story you sent us about Elias is definitely one for the books. I'm Adrian Smith, and can't wait to unpack this one with you.
I'm Julia Jones, and you're right. This one's a wild ride.
So Elias, from what I gathered from your notes, was this almost mythical figure, a monster slayer with a cabin full of trophies to prove it. We're talking claws from werewolves, the haunting mask of a skinwalker, even the skeletal hand of a Wendigo. But it wasn't just the quantity, it's what each trophy represents.
Exactly. Each one marks a victory against a creature of immense power. And what makes Elias' story so compelling is that he wasn't just a brute force hunter. The sources describe him as incredibly cunning a strategist with an almost supernatural understanding of the wilderness itself.
Okay, so we've got this super hunter who knows the wilderness like the back of his hand, but then he stumbles onto something that turns the tables on him.
Yeah.
Tell me about his first encounter with this creature.
Well, it begins with a stench, unlike anything Elias has ever encountered. Imagine a sulfurous reek mixed with the cloying sweetness of decay. It permeates the forest, a constant reminder of an unseen predator lurking nearby.
Not your typical bear or mountain lion, I take it.
Definitely not. And then there are the kills. Animals slaughtered not out of hunger, but with a terrifying precision. It's like a surgeon wielding claws and teeth. This creature wasn't just hunting for food, it was sending a message.
And that message seems to be directed at Elias himself, right? He sets a trap, a snare, designed to catch large predators. But instead of finding his prey, he finds his carefully laid plans turned into a macabre mockery.
Exactly. Imagine finding your trap sprung the bait untouched, and in its place a single blood-soaked feather. This creature wasn't just intelligent, it was toying with Elias, turning his expertise against him.
So how does Elias react to this? This is a guy who's used to being in control of the predator, not the prey.
Initially, there's disbelief, a refusal to accept that something could outsmart him in his own domain. But as the creature's game escalates, Elias is forced to confront a terrifying truth. He's no longer the hunter. He's the hunted.
I'm getting chills just thinking about it. The wilderness, once his sanctuary, becomes this disorienting maze designed by his unseen adversary. The sources mention trails leading in circles, supplies destroyed, even whispers on the wind that seem to mock his every move.
What's fascinating here is the psychological aspect of the creature's hunt. It's not just about physical dominance, it's about mental manipulation. The creature preys on Elias's doubt, turning his familiarity with the wilderness into a source of terror.
It's like the creature took Elias's greatest strength, his knowledge of the woods, and weaponized it against him. And then finally the confrontation. This is where it gets really interesting.
You'd expect a climactic showdown, a battle of titans in some remote clearing, but the sources describe something far more unsettling. Elias finds himself drawn to a place that feels both familiar and utterly alien.
Okay, so we've got this buildup of tension, this master hunter being stalked by something unknown. Where does this confrontation lead?
Instead of some monstrous beast, what emerges is a creature almost a humanoid in form, but lean with eyes that burn with an unnerving intelligence. It's like the creature deliberately subverted Elias's expectations, turning the whole idea of a monster on its head.
So it's not just about brute force, but this calculated, chilling intelligence. You mentioned Elias as a pragmatist. So how does he react? Does he try to fight back?
He does, drawing his rifle, the one he's used to take down countless creatures. But there's something about this being that makes even silver bullets seem useless. It's as if it exists on a different plane of reality, intangible yet undeniably present.
And then it speaks, not a roar, not a growl, but words in Elias's own language delivered with a chilling amusement. That detail really stuck with me. What did it say?
Hunted so long, hunter. Now your turn to run. It's a simple statement, but it carries the weight of centuries, an ancient power acknowledging Elias not as an equal, but as a plaything.
So even in this moment of confrontation, the creature is asserting its dominance. But Elias, he's no pushover, right? Even at his age, the sources say he's still incredibly agile and skilled.
He manages to dodge the creature's first attack, but it's clear from the descriptions that this is a desperate struggle. Every blow Elias lands seems to pass through the creature as if it were smoke. It's like fighting a nightmare made flesh.
And the realization dawns on Elias, doesn't it? He's not facing a monster. He's facing something far older, far more powerful than anything he could have imagined.
Exactly. And the fight ends not with a bang, but with a sickening snap. The creature breaks Elias's leg not out of rage, but almost with a sense of disappointment. It's as if Elias was a test subject that failed to meet its expectations.
That's a terrifying thought. To be judged and found wanting by a creature like that, it completely changes the dynamic, doesn't it? This wasn't a hunt, it was an evaluation, and Elias was found wanting. But what does the creature say to him in that final moment?
So much potential, Such a clever little predator wasted. It's a line that sends chills down my spine because it suggests that this creature wasn't just looking to kill, it was searching for something, testing Elias and finding him lacking.
This raises so many questions. Was Elias simply not strong enough, not skilled enough? Or was it something deeper, some fundamental aspect of his being that made him unworthy in the creature's eyes?
That's what makes this story so unsettling. It challenges our understanding of power, of what it means to be a predator. Elias, a man who had dedicated his life to hunting monsters, becomes the prey judged by a creature that operates on a level we can barely comprehend.
And the creature moves on, searching for its next challenge, its next test subject. It's a sobering thought, isn't it, that in the grand scheme of things, we might be nothing more than specimens to these ancient beings. It's a chilling reminder that our place in the world might not be as secure as we like to think. But beyond the fear factor, I think there are some profound takeaways from Elias's story, especially for those of us who, well, don't spend our days hunting monsters. What do you think, Julia? What can we learn from Elias's experience, even if we're not facing down creatures in the dark?
I think one of the most important lessons is the danger of underestimating the unknown. Elias, despite his vast experience, walked into that situation with certain assumptions. He thought he knew the rules of the game, but this creature was playing by a completely different set of rules.
He relied on what had worked in the past, and it backfired spectacularly. It makes you think about how often we do that in our own lives, sticking to familiar patterns even when the situation calls for something new.
Exactly. We become so used to our routines or ways of thinking that we can blind ourselves to new possibilities, to the need for adaptation. Elias's story is a powerful reminder that flexibility, both mental and practical, is crucial when dealing with the unexpected.
So how do we cultivate that flexibility? It's easy to say, be more adaptable, but how do we actually do that, especially when we're not facing down literal monsters?
Well, I think it starts with a willingness to question our own assumptions. Don't just accept things at face value. Be curious. Explore different perspectives. Be open to the possibility that you might be wrong.
So challenge those ingrained beliefs, those mental shortcuts we all rely on. It's about keeping our minds open to new information, new ways of seeing the world.
Precisely. And I think it also involves cultivating a sense of humility. Elias's confidence, his belief in his own abilities ultimately worked against him. Recognizing that we don't have all the answers, that there's always more to learn, can be a powerful tool for growth and adaptation.
It's about being willing to learn from our mistakes, to adjust our course when things don't go as planned. Elias's story, tragic as it is, offers a powerful lesson in the importance of humility and adaptability. It reminds us that the world is full of mysteries, and sometimes the greatest threat comes not from brute force, but from our own rigid thinking.
And it highlights the importance of respecting the unknown. Just because we don't understand something doesn't mean it's not real or that it doesn't hold power.
Well said, Julia. And on that note, we wrap up our deep dive into the unsettling tale of Elias the hunter who became the hunted. If someone as skilled as Elias could be defeated so easily, what hope does anyone else have against such a creature? Rate and follow the show for more addictive true crime mysteries, and we'll be back tomorrow with another one.